Left or right? I'll go left. So, one of the things I actually like doing, as you can see from the some of the shots I've already taken, is I like camping. I like coming out to the desert, and ultimately I do like hiking, but I've been super lazy over the last few years. I'm way out of shape. I used to be decently in shape in high school and just after high school. That's how I managed to actually get through the Army. But something somebody said to me one time was, when I go out for hikes or walks or whatever, I should actually pray out loud. Because what it does, of course, God knows what you're praying. He doesn't need you to talk out loud. But there's a couple of things that praying out loud actually does. One thing praying does out loud, is, at least for me anyways, it helps me to, in a sense, I don't know how to exactly put this in human words, but there's a level where it's almost like Jesus is walking right next to me, or God's walking right next to me. Whenever you're out hiking with friends, you communicate audibly. Now, like I said, God doesn't need you to pray out loud. You could quietly pray in your heart, but praying out loud just gives the extra, I don't know, dedication to talking to the Lord. And one of the things my pastor at Calvary Oceanside says is pray until you pray. Because sometimes you get to praying, when you first get to praying, it's like, Lord, thank you for this, thank you for that, sorry for this, sorry for that, da 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 da. You get distracted, you think of lunch, you think of something that happened during the day, but then when you actually start talking out loud, I feel like it helps you to focus quicker. It helps you get in a deeper prayer. You start thinking, Lord, this happened today, I was bitter, forgive me for that, or so-and-so is going through a medical condition. And so I feel like that when my pastor said pray until you pray, sometimes that can take a while. But praying out loud can, I don't know, for me it feels like I get deeper into prayer quicker. The other thing praying out loud does, and this could potentially open you up to attack quicker, but it lets the enemy know you're praying. It lets the enemy know that you're serious. Because it's real easy just to go out for a walk, go out for a hike, and talk to God. But once you talk out loud, the enemy knows you're serious. Because of course, the enemy can't hear your heart. The enemy can't hear what's going on inside your mind. But once you pray out loud, he knows. He's not going to want to necessarily lay back. And sometimes you could kind of judge how your walk is going by how much the enemy attacks. Because I feel like if the enemy's not attacking, you're not taking your faith seriously. The enemy doesn't need to bother you if you're not taking your faith in Jesus serious. Why? Why would he bother you if you're not a threat to him? So praying out loud lets the enemy know that you're praying to the Almighty God, who is more powerful than Satan. Keep that in mind. So don't be afraid to pray out loud. Usually when I do pray out loud, most of the time I'm by myself. There's nobody around me right now. there's a campground over like there, over that way. But, and I could probably be loud, and they could probably hear me right now. Like, who's that guy talking to? Looks like he's got a camera. So, but anyways, it's one of those things. I usually tend to do it more when nobody's around. Because usually I even get distracted with people being around. Just saying hi, being courteous. Whenever I come to the campgrounds, that's right. You can't see the main part there. And then you could see like a tent right there or canopy. Whenever I come to these campgrounds, a lot of times I like going up this hill. It's not a big hill, but it gives you a pretty good view of the area without having to go too far. The sun just set a few minutes ago. And the cool thing is this. It brings color to these mountains. During the daytime, it's pretty white. There's the campground. The first time I actually hiked up here, it was an Easter Sunday. And there was a small cross that was up here somebody made. It looked like he just took a couple sticks and some kind of string. And they had placed it somewhere up here. That was, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. But I'd say maybe that hike I did was about 5 years ago. I don't know when they put the cross up here. And then it was maybe 3 years ago, just before the pandemic. I came hiking up here again and it was gone. So it was kind of a bummer. Probably shouldn't record and walk down this hill with cacti around. But I'm doing it anyways. So, I like coming out to the desert, and where I'm at now, the place I'm actually camping at is a county park. But the county park is within a state park, a California state park. And the state park it's like 600,000 acres. It seriously takes up, like, if you look at it on a map, it takes up like a third of San Diego County. And the reason I usually like coming out here is because the state park that I'm in, they do let you pretty much camp anywhere for free. There are paid campgrounds which have toilets and water, but 90+ percent of the park is they allow what they call like primitive camping, and that's where you could pretty much just, for the most part, camp anywhere. There's a lot of washes you could drive through, a lot of what they call arroyos, which is like dry creek beds. And if you're familiar with the Arabic term, they're not necessarily wadis. I mean, you could probably call some of these wadis, but they're not wadis. But I mean, there's rules. When you drive, they want you to park one car length off the road. They want you to have your fires in metal containers. And there's sections where they'll say like no camping, but I'm figuring it's usually just the immediate area. And I think some of it is probably just it probably got abused, and they're probably just trying to keep the immediate area from getting destroyed. too much more. But since you can pretty much camp most of the area for free, there's one wash I like going down called Palo Verde wash. Palo Verde is a kind of tree in southwestern U.S. and parts of Mexico. And what I'll do is I'll seriously go camp there. I won't drive anywhere once I get there. Just driving to show up, driving to leave. And one time I went camping there, show up on a Friday. Had enough food, water. It lasted me a few days. But the plan was to stay, show up Friday, leave Sunday. So I got there, and the entire time I was there, like 2 cars passed where I was. Where I was? If that's not correct grammar, put it in the comments below what the correct grammar was. But yeah, the entire time 2 cars passed me the entire weekend. And I mean, there was another dirt road maybe half a mile from where I was, and there was a like a convoy of jeeps that went by, but they were still far enough in the distance that didn't really bother me. I mean, the 2 guys that did pass me didn't bother me, but it was great just knowing, because I would sit and pray. I would semi-explore the area, pray, do some reading, pray, get distracted some more, pray. But it's amazing what you can do when you're alone in the Lord, or with the Lord, and praying. That's why I come out here. It's why I come out to this desert, this part of the California desert specifically. It's quiet. I mean, yeah, where I'm at, you hear passing cars. And people ask me why I like the desert so much. Well, it's not the desert as a whole. I wouldn't want to do this in the Iraqi desert or the Middle Eastern desert. I definitely wouldn't want to do this in the Saharan desert. But something about the American Southwest and Mexico, it's a lot greener. I mean, you could see all the vegetation that's around. A lot of it's creosote. The creosote bush, a lot of it is Troya cactus. You do see ocotillos, you do see Palo Verde trees. There's an invasive tree from the Middle East called the tamarisk that they brought here a couple 100 years ago, something like that. I know I'm kind of just rambling in this video in a way, but there is kind of a purpose. It's just to get you guys thinking about how to pray, ways to talk with the Lord. So I guess if there's a couple ultimate points, one is go out, walk, and talk with the Lord. Walk and talk out loud. And then the other thing is go somewhere you can spend time with the Lord. I mean, Jesus even spent 40 days out, fasting. The Israelites spent 40 years in the wilderness. So what does that say about spending time in the wilderness? It's maybe something you guys should consider doing too. Not saying that I'm an expert on it, but there's just things I've learned about doing it. So keep that in mind. If you feel like you're distant from the Lord, find ways to go spend time with them. It could even be just going to a hotel. If it's one of those things you don't want to drive to the nearest campground, go to a hotel. Just get a hotel for a night. Just do something to find a way to get away and spend alone time with the Lord. So yeah, I'm almost back to the campground. So I'll go ahead and cut it here. Thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. One of the next one's going to be on writing support letters. So yeah, anyway, see you guys.